Hey there, it's JP, and you're watching the absolute game of
Nerd!
Okay, so this past weekend, like I said, I was at NeoCon. This is the Northeast Ohio Comic Convention. This is probably a 200 dealer convention of probably 75% is in uh, comic books. A couple Funkos there, but this show is different than some other shows I've been to, some other big shows, in the fact that it's mostly comics. Some of the bigger shows I've gone to in the Pittsburgh area and Erie area and Buffalo area have been a lot of probably 50-50 or actually 40% comics, 60% Funkos, toys, someone selling chocolate, someone selling swords, um, uh, artists, things like that. So I really took took the advertisement from John and Richard from Bronze and Modern Gods to go to the show because they were touting how good the show was, and they were right. It's about 3 hours away from me, so most shows I go to are 3 hours or less. There's nothing in my hometown, so I do travel for some of these shows. Made a lot of sense because I had a friend who lived close to the area, and I was able to stay with him the night before and then get up and be at the show right at 10 o'clock to start. So because I was able to stay at my buddy's house, haven't seen him in a couple years, got to meet John and Richard, which made it worth the trip. Tony Isabella from Black Lightning was going to be there signing books. And fourth thing was a good comic book show. And it's been a while since I've been to a show. So let's see what I got besides this awesome Wacom shirt. Now, Wacom is not sponsoring Rohan and I just yet. Hopefully they'll sponsor the Absolute Game and Nerd show sometime. But it's a cool shirt, cool comic shirt. Why not wear it? So thanks to Richard and John for the shirt. So let's show what I got. To start off with was this man, Tony Isabella, the creator of Black Lightning, the first black DC superhero with his own series. Again, the first black character was Lobo in the 60s, and then he had Black Panther, and the first solo title with a black character was Black Lightning from DC. So I got Tony to sign right up here, and he was going to be at a Buffalo show, and he got sick and wasn't able to go, so I was not able to get his signature on this book. I had found this book over a year ago, never saw it before, never heard of the character, and just thought it was a cool book. So waited about a year before I was able to get Tony to sign it. So I thought that was a pretty cool pickup there at the show. I did mostly trading and picked up a couple books, but I didn't get a ton. I was trying to work this. The show was full of comic book dealers, but I would run into something where somebody wanted a book I had to trade, but they had nothing I really wanted to make that trade on. Or they wanted the book, but the cash they were going to give me was not going to be worth the trade. So it was really hard to try to match up what somebody wanted for what I wanted or the cash I wanted. So I basically, and this happens a lot at shows, I go from one dealer, make a deal, get cash, let's say, or trade, and walk over to another dealer. And more times than not, it's worked that I can take care of one deal and then get to the other deal. But at one time in Buffalo, I wanted a Batman 221, the famous Neil Adams cover, and the guy wasn't going to budge on price. So I said, let me go sell some things first and I'll come back. I went to the dealer who wanted the stuff I had because the guy who had the Batman didn't want anything that I had at the time. So I went to the dealer, sold him what I had, got the cash, walked over, and there was a guy holding up both Batman 221 and 251, as that would have been my second choice if that 221 had gone, and the guy bought them both. So I missed out had I not bought them first and then went and sold the items. But I'm kind of particular about get the cash in hand before you go buy the book. So anyway, that's what I did most of the show. I ended up trading a Riri Williams, the first appearance of Riri Williams. I got $50 for that book, and 50 and this amazing Spider-Man 346. I do have 347. Not everyone loves Eric Larson as an artist. They're not fans of Savage Dragon, but I really thought I'm a fan of Savage Dragon. I'm a fan of Larson, and I really thought he killed it on the Venom covers, the Venom drawings. I mean, McFarlane is the man when it comes to Venom. He created them, I guess we'll say. He has some iconic covers as well, even better than Larson. But I mean, Larson did some great covers too. There's no debating that, in my opinion. That's a great cover. So $50 in this book for the Riri Williams. Turned around, took the $50, went and I bought Mr. Deadpool versus Punisher. Got this for $35. And so I took the other $15. I went and picked up some more Spectacular Spider-Man. I got number 8. I got number 11. Number 16. Number 10. Or excuse me, number 17, sorry. 22, that was what that price was marked at. 34. And 79. So this was 15 plus an additional 15. Helps me finish out that run of 1 to 100. I essentially have numbers 4, 28, 38, 64, 70, and 75 left to get. And 64 is probably the most expensive, with number 4 not too far from that. It's been hard for me to pay. I've seen 64, that's the first Cloak and Dagger, hard to pay $50 for that book because all I'm trying to do is complete the run. I have no problem paying, $30 or $40 for Spec number 1, the spot issues, even some of the Frank Miller books, but the Cloak and Dagger one, I'm hoping to get that one, find that one cheap. So the last piece I'm going to show you is non-comic related, but I always bring comics with me to trade. And like I said, I sold the Riri Williams and I was able to buy the Punisher and some of the Spectacular Spider-Mans. But I had, probably a handful of books. I usually take more, but it gets cumbersome to bring all these books. And half the time these dealers tell me I don't need any more of this crap. Most of them are nice about it, but I get the gist. So I'm showing a guy who had mostly toys. I didn't think he was going to buy any comics. And I said, are you interested in comics, doing a trade? And he said, yeah, look to see what you have. So I show him the comics I had, and he picked out a Toxic Crusader number 1, which I had a newsstand, a Dark Claw newsstand, Amalgam Comics, and a Spider-Boy Amalgam Comics, plus a couple other ones. And I had asked him about this Garbage Pail Kid, and he had knocked the price down on this Atom Bomb. This is a UK mini to $50. And he said, how about this? How about I trade you those books for this? And I thought, for what I paid for all those books, probably $1 a piece, maybe $5 tops on 1 or 2 of those. So I might have paid a total of $20 for all those comics. So to get a Garbage Pail Kid, the spec or the comps on this is between $50 and $100. It seems to be in good condition. Not centered perfectly, but pretty close. Corners look sharp. I'm not a card guy, as you know. Rohan is, and Rohan's more into Marvel cards, but this is one I've seen on Froggy Flips, another show I watch, and I was a fan as a kid, and I'm not really a huge fan of them now, but it just is a cool nostalgic find. So I thought, what the heck, and the deal seemed good, and I think I could probably flip this faster than some of those comics I had. So I did the deal. So a nice little non-comic to get at a comic show. So pretty cool. Okay, so that's my Neocon comic haul and card haul that I was able to pick up. Let me know what you think. I thought Neocon was a great show. I enjoyed meeting John and Richard. Thanks on the advice to go to the show. Thanks for the free t-shirt. I'll keep watching, guys. Hopefully you'll be watching us. And we can have you on our show someday soon. But all in all, I thought Neocon was a great show. Definitely delivered in regard to all the different dealers that were there. It was very comic-centric, so I was happy to go, and I look forward to going next year. So like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought I did pickup-wise, and if you went to Neocon, if you had fun as well, and maybe we ran into each other, or maybe you got a Wacom shirt too. So we'll see you in the next video. Peace.